everybody, welcome to the Trying to Be Better with Joel and Steve podcast. It is coming at you hot and dirty today.
Hot and dirty. Hey Joel, happy birthday.
Thanks, buddy. I don't think your microphone is actually working, although you're holding it up to your face. You might want to turn.
My microphone's not working. Hold on. Oh my God. Hold on. How's this? Is that better?
Is
Oh, is that tasty?
That is silky smooth. Yeah, I do.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's my birthday. I turned 41 years old today.
41.
41, baby.
That's a good young birthday.
It's a young birthday. You know, I feel like last year was pretty, I don't know. You hear about 40 and it's like all this shit. And 41's like, 41. But I'm very grateful to still be alive and kicking.
Fucking A.
Fucking A, man. You had a birthday too recently.
I did. I turned 50. 50.
Yeah, dude. So, hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Trying to Be Better Podcast. Email the show at ttbbpodcast at gmail.com.
Yeah. Speaking of, we actually got mail. I'm very excited. We're going to have a really cool guest on in the not too distant future. I need to actually reply to the latest one and get that together. Cool. It's going to be very exciting.
It is very exciting. Somebody who it's rare that we have somebody on the podcast that we don't actually know. Like we had Mary on, and there's been people that you've known or that I don't know, and I know that you don't know.
The other one doesn't.
This is a total like blind date.
Yeah, totally. It's kind of what it is, actually. I'm super excited though, because it's going to be neat.
Yeah, I haven't had it's going to be neat, kids. I haven't had a blind date in a long time. The only blind date I went on went like shit. So this
one will be way better.
I hope so.
Because we're gonna replay that tape. It's gonna be fine. Re-record.
How are you today, Steve?
I'm wiped out, man. I have had a hell of a day. Everybody, this is like our day logistically was kind of screwed anyway. So we were kind of trying to work this in between work and like Joel's birthday festivities and all that. Yeah. And my work day went totally sideways. It's just been an insane 10 hours and I'm wiped out.
Dude, you wiped out.
Done. But I wanted to talk to Joel and it's his birthday. Yeah. And also, frankly, just logistically putting up another rerun it just didn't feel right.
It didn't
feel right. And we can do it. I was like, I actually thought for a moment, fuck this. The last fucking thing I want to do right now is another thing that I have to do. But then I thought, well, that's bullshit. Like, I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
This is like something that I do because I enjoy it. And it might do me so good to talk to my friend Joel.
Yeah, man. We do this for kicks. Like we were going to do, we were going to
that was the place I was in like literally 15 minutes ago. I was like, all I want to do is go home and overeat and go to bed.
We have a earlier episode about overindulging in things, so you can check that one out. But dude, I feel you because I don't ever want this to feel like a chore. It should always be a joy, but like you have to work at joy, you know?
You do. You actually,
so like, we were thinking about doing this earlier in the week, and then I had to kind of like play it by ear because of family in town.
You had a thing. Yep.
I had a thing.
So this is your fault.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. I'm in a good spiritual spot to.
I'm kidding. Mostly.
So you had a wild day at work, man.
Oh my God.
Well, Steve is actually recording from his work. He is in his office right now.
But that's the thing. Like, it's even worse because the actual, like, it's a long story that frankly is not that interesting. But the short version of it is that it was really kind of a fucked day. And then in the afternoon, something actually really important broke. And then 2 hours later, like not long ago at all, we realized that it was our fault. And we had to roll back a bunch of stuff and eat a ton of crow. And that's my favorite thing.
Crow.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, it's not even eating crow. It's just like when you have on this situation, there were 6 parties involved in a conference call.
Yeah.
And we're saying, no. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Pause. We're going to put everybody on mute for a second. Discuss internally. Like, this might be our fault. Get back on the line. Yeah, this is totally our fault.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But, the nice thing is dealing with, and this applies so many places.
Yeah.
Like, honesty counts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The fact that we got back on and said, you know what? Sorry for wasting everybody's time. We know what the problem is. It's our fault.
Dude.
And everybody just went, oh, so we can go home now.
You know, there's something really profound in there, dude, because like there is that crossroads when you're confronted with, okay, I could admit the wrong and try to walk down that path and be open and honest, or I could double down on my bullshit
right
and see how that goes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've done this long enough to know that just fessing up is so much easier for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Because ultimately nobody cares. And that's the nice thing. Maybe I'm sure this is like this elsewhere, but I've done IT for so long. It's my frame of reference. It's like most IT professionals, just want a solution. It doesn't matter what the problem is.
Right. They just want it to work.
Nobody actually cares. All we care about is like uptime and throughput. And is it working? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you admit that you were wrong and, throw a little apology on there, like, I'm sorry for wasting everybody's time. This is our end. The response almost always is, oh, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost and always.
Yeah.
Which is cool because we've all done it. We've all been that guy. Today today was my day in the barrel,
yeah. And like it is and the relationships or the work relationships or friendships that you have where you admit that you were wrong and that makes it worse are not the kind of relationships you want to be in.
Exactly.
Right. If you know what I mean? If you tell your friend like, hey, I really fucked up. I'm really sorry. That was totally on me. And they make it worse for you.
Yeah.
That's a sign you probably ought to
time to go.
Rethink the circle you're in, or rethink the job you're in or the relationship you're in maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things that take some challenge to walk through, but man, it's like, if you can't, I mean, the first step is, okay, this is on me. This is my fault. I'm sorry, and I'll make it right. And then there's an opportunity to mend it. And most people are diffused by that. The folks that double down on being shitty back, man. But we've all been in that situation where we take the other road where we're like, no, I'm going to double down on the lie. Man, that's a lot of work.
Well, and this is like, because the first part of this was like, we were pretty convinced that we were not wrong. We had enough evidence. We had, based on all the evidence that we could see at the time, like I said, this is a big situation. It's not like 1 + 1. It's like an algebraic equation, right? That just wasn't adding up. And we're like, all of our variables, none of those have changed.
Right.
None of those has changed. And so based on what we could see, we were correct. And that's why we were saying, like, look, I don't know what to tell you. Something has changed somewhere. It's not on us. And then we were looking at it and went, oh, wait a minute. We did change that one thing.
Yeah.
That
you didn't know that until that moment.
We did not see how it was related.
Right.
In our head, it was like, well, yeah, that was a thing, but we didn't see how it was related until it was like very obvious.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe we were a little myopic. I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, it had been a long day anyway when this came, and our brains were already fried when this started. So I'm sure that had something to do with it. We're just like, we haven't changed anything. And then except for the part that you did,
the Jiminy Cricket in your head was like, hey,
sure you didn't change anything.
Well, shut up. Everybody wants to follow the form. Everybody wants things to just flow, and in those moments, it's like that's when the human element comes through, and everybody's like, the shoulders kind of get relaxed, and it's like, oh yeah, we're all human beings fucking it up. None of us really know what we're doing.
We're all just walking each other's systems home.
Good play on the Ram Dass quote. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we're able to do this, even if it's a bite-sized version. I gotta hop on my bicycle here in a little bit and ride down and eat some sushi. You're back in the big band, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm playing. That's the thing I play once a month. It shut down for COVID, but it's firing back up tonight. Once a month, a group of people get together and play World War II era big band jazz.
How many?
For no reason.
I don't think you've talked about it on this podcast. Maybe you have, but
I haven't, because it hasn't been a thing, because it was shut down.
It hasn't been a thing, yeah. So how many people are there usually?
Round numbers, 30, 35.
Dude,
full band, like full horn section, drums, bass, keyboard, occasionally a vocalist. And we do like Glenn Miller stuff and other things are escaping me, but standards, Ain't Misbehaving.
Yeah.
And then some kind
of
In the
Mood.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And some of it's real. I mean, it's just a blast to play. And playing with a big band. It's an experience, man. When you hit those fortes, the whole band at one time, pop, pop, pop. It's great.
Yeah.
And just the swells and the slow songs. I love the ballads because all the horn swells and it's just fantastic. It's it's challenging to play. It's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Than playing like rock and roll.
Yeah.
Because the single most important thing in this music is counting. You all have to be in the same place on the music at the same time, or it kind of turns into a mess.
Right. And then with the rock and roll, unless you're like,
it's on the one
Rush, like you can kind of
right. Yeah. But even Rush is 3 people. Like, you know exactly. What I'm saying? It's
right.
Multiply that by 10 and you have a different thing,
That's so, does this group, and you've talked to me about this group, but for those of us that don't, do you guys, do they ever play publicly, or is it? It's just people to get together. I love that.
My understanding of it is it's what used to be the like Sesostris Shrine Band.
Okay.
And they used to go out and play events and do things, but that's kind of gone away.
Yeah.
And there just isn't a lot of call for live big bands anymore.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. And plus it's kind of expensive,
Yeah. Right.
Like to get everybody out, like that's a $5,000 probably just to start.
Yeah. Right.
And frankly, it's just not that great. We get together once a month, what
Right.
So but really what it is, it's just it's a wide variety. It's some retirees. The band director is a guy, I think he's still working, a physician that was a friend of my family's for years and years and years. Hell, he was, like his daughters babysat me.
Right.
That's how long I've known him, the band leader.
Yeah.
And then like some college kids comes out, high school students. We have a high school band teacher that comes out to play. Sometimes he'll bring his students out just to expose them to that kind of environment, to that music.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a really dynamic thing, and there's some working musicians that come out too. But I really think it's a lot of it. We love the music because it's true. I love that type of music.
Right.
Man, I don't listen to it a lot, but I've played it on and off my whole life for one reason or another. And it's a delight. And me, Joel, I love weird anachronisms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man.
It's like stepping into this weird time wormhole where everything's analog. The keyboard is electronic, but everything else is acoustic. There's no amplification, just my guitar and the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very I don't know if organic's the right word.
It's a throwback. I as a theater artist, this is what I love about it. Because when you've told me about it before, it's the rehearsal is the thing.
Oh,
you know what I mean? You're playing for each other. You're not.
Yes.
There's no like pressure or push to like, we got a gig, we got to get ready, everybody's there. It's just like, let's come together and play this complicated music for each other, just for the learning, just for the playing, just for the doing.
Absolutely. It's just for that. That's the reason everybody shows up, is because we all love it. And I'm sure for individual reasons,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's really, and that's really that kind of vibe,
Yeah. Right.
It's like, we're all here because we really love this and want to be here.
Yeah.
And that's pretty special,
I think that's the really cool thing, as you've told me about it, like, because how freeing is it that it's just like, I just get to show up and play and have fun with no worry that there's going to be an audience that's paying to see us or judging, or it's just like,
well, it's
get
kind of a
get
way
in where you fit in,
It's just a way to keep your chops up. Like, I've learned so much playing in this group. When I first started playing with them, I played maybe a third of the time because I just didn't know the chords. And I struggled with the music, with the reading the music. So it took me probably 6 months to, first of all, focus on counting. And while I'm not there, to work on learning some chords. Because by the time I'd figure out what a, G7 minor diminished, like they'd be 2 measures down the line and I'd be lost. So then it became just play the root.
Yeah, right.
Play the G, play a root, play a non-major, non-minor, just play a note or whatever, just to keep going.
Yeah.
And then the chords have come gradually. I've learned so much playing with this group.
That makes me think of this. So when I was a freshman in college at Wesleyan, uh, a room or a guy down the hall from me knew that I played guitar, and they're like, "Hey, the jazz band needs a bass player. Like, you kind of know the
Right.
low four, the low four strings. You should come play."
Sure.
And they were desperate, obviously. So I showed
Right.
up. They had a bass. They had it all set up,
Uh-huh.
and one song was very simple, and I could play it, and everything else was a chaotic mess.
Uh-huh.
And I actually did a jazz recital with this band.
Really?
And I was probably high,
Uh-huh.
and I would say
well, man, jazz musicians.
I like knew I knew like I was solid on 1 out of the 10 songs they played. Everything
Right.
else I was just kind of like
Burp, burp, burp,
just I was so lost. But I wish that I would have like practiced, like taken the music home and like fucking gotten better.
on,
you know what I mean?
Come on.
That would have really I don't
The
know.
guy that plays bass in this group, I think he's retired, but he has a traditional stand-up bass. I don't know what it's called, but it's even one that has like an octave lever on it, so he can like flip this lever by the headstock and it'll drop one of the strings down even lower.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I love listening to him play. I sit right next to him, and he's he knows what he's doing. He knows how to make it do whatever basses do. I was gonna say cry, but that's maybe not the right word. But I mean, just the sound that comes off of it and the sounds that he coaxes out of that thing, it's amazing.
Yeah. I think I hear a connection between the previous topic and this one. It's like, making mistakes and admitting that you're wrong and learning from those mistakes, it means you're in the game. It means you're in the band. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and we're all just rehearsing here.
Right.
Like it's never going to be a perfected performance. We're all in rehearsal.
Well, the thing that I keep coming back to, this is years ago. I was working for this company and I had screwed something up. I don't remember what it was. Computer or something broke something. And I was ruminating as I was peeing in the bathroom,
Right. Yep.
I'm
glad you peed in the bathroom.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say I didn't need to add that. But, I was standing in the bathroom peeing at the urinal,
Yeah.
And the VP of operations comes in, who I didn't really have a relationship with other than we saw each other in the hall, and he was kind of a gruff dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he stands up next to me and he actually was like, "How you doing, Erbauer?" And I'm like,
was it Sweetums?
Huh?
Was Sweetums from the Muppets?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Hey, how you doing over
there? No, but it was more not as friendly,
Okay.
How you doing, Erbauer?
Yeah.
And I said, honestly, not great. I screwed something up and I'm kind of frustrated about it. And he was like, he just said, "Only person not screwing things up, somebody not trying anything."
Zip.
Pretty
Flush,
much. And then he walked
out.
away. Yep. I mean, it was literally that kind of moment. And I was like, that was actually really cool,
Yeah. 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 That means you're in the arena.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And the tendency, it's like you screw one thing up and that's all I see. Everything else everything's the worst and I'm the worst. And what am I doing?
This is the worst. I'm the worst at this. Yeah. Why did I even think that I could even try to do something like this?
And the reality of the situation is that we got the thing fixed. Those people are happy and we'll fix the thing that caused the thing and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Live to fight another day. Everybody knows that like we fessed up and it'll get fixed and they don't have to do this rigmarole now of figuring out what the problem was. Let's just move forward.
Yep. And that's applicable everywhere. At work, with art, with
home.
Yeah. With marriages, with kids. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you've had to kind of like tell your kids you were wrong.
Totally.
Like I'm sure that's not easy. It
actually kind of is because it helps a lot. Actually, I think it helps them to see that we're human and that adults are human and that we don't know everything. And it's way better to say, "Hey, I'm sorry I was short with you," or "I'm sorry I gave you incorrect information," or whatever. And they're like, "Oh, okay, no big deal."
Yeah. Yep.
And that way you don't have to keep building up this whatever bullshit facade.
Yep. I mean, and what we're not saying is like, I think that I know that I definitely learned this in the spiritual secret recovery rooms, but like this idea of the difference between admitting a fault and being willing to correct it versus just saying I'm sorry. Yeah. Because like at the root of the word sorry is sore. So all you're really expressing is I'm hurting. I know I broke your thing, but I feel bad.
I feel bad. So
then it's incumbent upon that person to make me feel differently rather than just like actually say, hey, I was wrong.
I broke your thing. I think that's probably worth about $100. Can I give you $20 a week until I've given you $100?
Right. Let me actually fix this situation and attempt to fix the relationship versus sorry, like I had an early spiritual advisor of mine say, stop saying sorry because it's just like saying fuck you, I'm going to do it again. Just knock it off. And I still catch myself saying sorry sometimes it works, but sometimes it's good, but sometimes in context I just want the heat off or I want somebody to feel bad for me, and it's like, man, I still think of that guy with flipping him off saying screw you, I'm going to do it again.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So
wow.
Fess up, y'all.
So you're going for a ride tonight?
Yeah, we're gonna ride.
You did the nacho ride yesterday.
So I did the nacho ride with Matt, who listens to our podcast. We love you, Matt. I love
the pink ladies. That killed
me. Those today's podcast is brought to you by Patagonia baggies shorts. 5-inch hot pink baggy shorts.
I saw because I honked at you guys. You were at Cotner and Vine, and I was driving.
I rode from my house to Matt's house, then we started out from there to Eagle and then all the way back. So it ended up being like 36 miles.
Yeah. That's a good ride.
Yeah, it was great.
But I saw you guys and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people. Wait a minute. I know them. Honking the horn,
Well, you honked and I haven't seen you a lot in your new ride.
Right.
So I'm used to seeing you in the element.
If I would have been in the element, I'm like, oh, there's Steve.
Yeah. And I'm like, what's that? Oh, and they're like, who is that? I'm like, oh, I think that's Steve. And then you texted me. It's like, oh yeah, it is Steve.
Steve, yeah. That was. I wanted to make sure they got credit for the honking.
You did. Okay, Thank you, Steve. You got credit for acknowledging us. We were hard to miss with our pinkies, though. Our pink
I know.
ladies.
I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, look at that group of lunatics. I was like, wait a minute, those are my friends.
Yeah, these hot pink shorts. They're the shorts of the summer. Yeah, we're doing. Yeah, I'm going down to. We got some people meeting us. Then we're gonna ride down to get some sushi. Hopefully, if they let us all in. Mm-hmm. And then maybe some ice cream.
That, but duty calls.
Dude, well, here as a birthday present, doing this means a shitload. It's a really great. This is for everybody that's made it this far into this short conversation. This is a very typical conversation between Steve and I on the way home from his work. Really so nothing is very different from this. But
that's true.
You can give me a gift by maybe recording a little bit of the big band. I want to hear them.
Oh shit! I don't have my recorder device with me.
Oh, well, you do it on your phone. Who cares?
I'll do it on my phone. I'll see what I can do.
But you do have a nice, portable recorder.
Yeah, the Zoom device. Yeah, we got to crack that bad boy out. It's awesome. I recorded rehearsal on it a week ago for Exile, and it sounds great. It's amazing.
Yeah, you guys got.
So maybe I'll just do that next month. I'll remember to bring it and I'll record.
That'd be cool to hear that.
It's neat.
Yeah, but I should probably hop on the bike. Man.
I love it, dude. Well, I love you. Happy birthday.
I love you too. Happy birthday to everybody.
This is fun. Happy everything.
Happy everything, everyone.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, later.
Bye.
Mr. President, Marilyn Monroe.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Thanks, Mr. President, for all the things you've done, the battles that you've won, the way you deal with U.S. Steel and our problems by the ton. We thank you so much. Everybody, happy birthday!
ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Thank you. I can now retire from politics after having had Happy Birthday sung to me in such a sweet, open manner.